happy when I heard that, and we're getting readied up here.
This is the Week 5 Premiership Division for ETF2L between TLR and Decerto. I am Connor, and my co-host is Sean Beasley. I'm going to let him take the mid.
I hate it when you let me take the mid, but I love taking mids on this map, as we're going to look at these scouts here. Lots of damage coming out from Hildreth, the demo man of Decerto. The sides have not been changed, everybody, so if you are a little bit slow at reading stuff like that, both sides are still the same color. There's a lot more damage in favor of Decerto here, as they have the better positioning, and we're going to probably see TLR back up out of it. Actually, they're going to be a little aggressive on this, which is risky because they don't want to lose their medic. They have to get that Uber, and the Uber is there for Decerto. So we might see them pop that to kill that medic pretty early, but they're not going to do that. And we're going to have an Uber fight here on the mid fight. And it is capped by Decerto. So their spawns are going to be longer than TLR's, as we're going to see rake up already as the Ubers are exchanged. And Hildreth is looking for this scout trapped out there and get that nice pick just to back TLR off of this, and they have they've gained this ground that they so desperately need.
Indeed, they just played a better positional game there. They were in a better position than TLR the whole time, and they had a free pick off Rake, who decided to run in for some reason. But they did actually just lose a scout as well. They already had a soldier down, he's just spawned, and they actually just let TLR take the mid. That was okay. I don't really understand how that happened, but whatever. They did let them take the mid, but they didn't lose too many people, and they do have pretty much equal Ubers. Slight disadvantage, but not really enough. They're getting bombed a little bit, but not that aggressively, so they're going to be alright. They're actually probably going to get the Uber if they don't walk into this now, because TLR do actually have the Uber, but they are going to get the Uber anyway, yeah. Like, both teams have Uber now. They're going to be fighting on the mid. The team with the advantage now, who doesn't really need to lose anyone here, are TLR, because obviously they have the midpoint. They're going to be fine. They're getting spammed over by Hildreth a little bit. He's doing a pretty good job. Like, they are capping it bit by bit, but not really committing here. They did take on Rake, who goes in really aggressive, but they have 3 people who are really, really weak, and Hildreth is pulling out because he has really no one attached to him at all. And they're going to lose 2 people already, probably 3, maybe even 4. Yep, they're going to lose 4 people. They just need to commit there, I think.
Right. It was well, on this map, I'm very familiar with this map. This map in particular. I know that the Europeans, or the scene was playing the old Viaduct for a very long time. And how many seasons has this Pro Viaduct been in?
2, I believe. This season and last season, I think.
This map it's a much better map than the old version. I think it has less sight lines for snipers, and just stuff that you can do. But right there with that push that we saw, or that kind of faux push come in from Decerto, they didn't really try to force the Uber early, and they didn't give themselves any advantage as they walked in. And again, they're just kind of dying here, and they don't have Uber. Their medic is not healing anybody. It's a full advantage for TLR, and they're not really having much pressure on them.
No, indeed.
To pop that Uber.
Zoob actually failed to jump completely there. He tried to jump into mid, and he just hit the top bit, the bridge thing that goes across. He just hit that, and then he tried to bomb again and just got shotgunned. So he just went down really, really quickly. Unfortunate, I guess. Kind of a misplay, because he was probably going to go for a bomb onto the medic or whatever, but that means that Evil Moon does have a massive Uber advantage. In fact, he just had a 100% Uber advantage. Now he only has a 40, which is, I don't know, they really need to go aggressive. From what I found, they need to not really let a team walk in, even if they have the mid and they don't really have anything to fight for. Letting them just get the Uber, or not get the Uber, letting them just come in like that is kind of a bad idea, because obviously they're gonna get picked. But alas, they do not get picks. So it's alright, it's fine, it's worked well for them, and they've only got 30 seconds to hold now, so it's really in their favor.
Right. Well, I think that they were just trying to sack in and force that Uber because their medic was building and spawning the scout. And now the Ubers are even, and Rake is down very low on that cliffside snipe. The Uber is popped by Decerto much earlier, and then they're flashing. So this Uber is a lot better for TLR, and they're just going to be cleaned up as they have to get this force off. They should really just keep trying to get the force before they bring that Uber in, because neither team is applying pressure. And yeah, TLR is just cleaning everybody up on the point here, and they're able to take this round 1-0 in favor of them.
Indeed. Again, like what I was talking about before was basically that TLR weren't really aggressive at all. They were holding the mid, they were quite defensive, but I feel like they need to have someone forward to make sure that people can't come in and get picks, but then Decerto didn't really manage to get the picks anyway, obviously, so it was fine for them. They just played much, much better that round, a little bit more aggressive, better position after the first initial mid fight, and now they look like they're getting kind of forced out. They do actually lose Evil Moon to Shifty, very well played from him to be honest, but he does go down eventually. Calho goes down, Nadir goes down. But they do get Hildreth in return, which is a really, really good pick. But it looks like Heist is going to go down. Yeah, Ferber gets Heist. So this is still in the favour of Decerto, because they do have a medic still up with 80%, and they have a soldier and a scout on the midpoint. And this scout's going to come in and just die straight away. He went for a play on the medic. That was a good idea, but what's he going to do, really, against that?
Well, it doesn't hurt him as much as it does in other maps. Sacrificing yourself on this map, like we said, you have half the spawn timer of the team that has the point. So his death is, it just means that he's up again in 4 seconds. And we're going to see aggression from the soldier and the scouts of TLR, and they force that Uber. That's exactly what you need to do when you're pushing and you don't have it. You need to force that Uber and just give yourself the advantage and ability to walk in there without having your medic, like, possibly dying. So that's exactly what they did, and they all spawn in about 4 to 6 seconds, I believe, is what it is. So now we have the full Uber advantage in favor of TLR, and we're gonna see Decerto hold actually pretty close to try and force that and back out before too much goes down.
I feel like this is kind of a mistake from Decerto. They have their medic really far forward. If TLR went really aggressive there, they could have easily just picked off the medic. He is getting back now, but he was really in the open there. Like, they had a full disadvantage. I understand they need to force people, but they shouldn't be doing it with a medic, really. The medic did get out, though, so that's not really too bad. They just give up the point completely. And now, Sheepy is sniping. He's not really doing anything because he just keeps getting bombed, and Rake just kills him with no problems.
Connor, I have a very bad taste in my mouth because 2 things I just saw happen. 1, they didn't get the force out. They backed out, gave up the point, and now TLR has their timer running down. And 2, Sheepy is using the black box on this map, and he wasn't able to get that force because he didn't have enough rockets to shoot. And like I said, that's going to be a big problem for their team on this map when you need the forces, and that's just not happening. And TLR soldiers are forcing the Uber for Decerto now as the rest of them go down, and they have 3 players alive as Evil Moon is trying to find them and get that Uber up for them. And he's able to hold on to that for a little longer. It's a nice air shot onto the Ubered soldier there. But Decerto is just gonna play their picks and cap this point. And it's evened out with the Ubers. And I don't know if we're gonna see many sacks as Rake goes down. A little overextended there, not in a good position to do much. But TLR is not backing out all the way to spawn. They want to do this mano and mano. Who cares about Uber? They're going to try and get their way in here.
They don't want to really give Decerto the chance to get forward and have like a position on them before they push out, I guess. And because they are equal, they don't really have a reason to get out. I guess they just want to out-DM them, especially since if someone dies from their team, they respawn quicker than the players on Decerto. So they're going to go for picks. Heist actually bombs in and he does get Zoob, and they get Furbo as well. Rake does go down again, kind of characteristic of him from these games. But it's not really the worst in the world. They just really need to cap this point, because if they don't, that was all for absolutely nothing. They do get the medic, which means it isn't actually for nothing, but yeah, they're getting the point now. They're going to cap it. Well played from Heist for jumping in there. I keep saying his name differently, I apologise. Heist, his, whatever, same thing. So they get the mid, and Bull has only just spawned, so he has a slight disadvantage, 25%, but he's just going to be building in spawn anyway, so it's not like he's going to be anywhere near the mid. I think TLR really need to be aggressive, which is what they're doing. They have Rake on the house, just denying the soldier from bombing up, and they had Nadir as well. Nadir does go down because he's pretty much alone on the right side. Not really lucky there, and Rake's going to go down as well because he stayed in way too long after Nadir went down. But again, it's not really that bad. They do have an Uber advantage. As long as they don't lose everyone else, they should be able to push back in. It is much worse than it would be for Decerto to lose players though, which is, I guess, the biggest thing about this map. Rake actually respawning on Sniper now, which is interesting.
Right. Evil Moon went down in that fight, and he's going to spawn much later, and Decerto has a full Uber advantage as TLR is going to try and get in there and kill him or force him or something. He doesn't have it yet, he has it now, so the force might come out as that scout is running around over there. Kyler for fun gets nice shots onto the demo, is not able to take him out, and TLR has pretty much dropped everybody. Another interesting thing they did there, they've been putting on a real Viaduct clinic in this match, but holding close when the other team doesn't have Uber and half your team is sitting back is just asking to be picked. And like we said, those spawn time are really bad. So when you have the point, you don't want to hold too close and die, as the Uber is forced by TLR. Good sacks, but Evil Moon goes down, and the whole team wipes. They're not able to do this. They had to send everybody out there. They had to get some cap time because that round was about to go to Decerto, and that's exactly what happens, 1-1.
Indeed. Well played from Decerto. The soldiers particularly keep picking people off. I feel like Rake just keeps getting picked off. I haven't actually seen him get a kill. I don't know if he has any, but he probably does. But I haven't actually noticed him get a kill whatsoever in quite a while, if any at all. He really needs to just stop getting picked off and play with his team a little bit more. Decerto actually getting forced out at the moment. They're getting really, really spammed. Everyone's relatively healthy, but no one at all on the entire team is buff. But then that's the same for TLR because Shifty manages to pick someone, Furbo gets Rake, and Hildreth gets Heist. Heist does get Bull though, which means if Evil Moon stays alive, which is very unlikely with his health, he actually gets the health back, he's going to be fine. He's just going to be able to push back in with his team as soon as they spawn. He's building at the moment to make sure that he gets the Uber. I feel like if they go now, they could even get some picks, because people are on mid. They've got back now, Hildreth is on the right side, but they're actually running Kritzkrieg, Decerto, which is going to be very nice, I think, as long as... But then, with Evil Moon having a full Uber advantage, I don't know, they'd have to go force it. I guess they're trying to now, they just sent Hildreth in, Hildreth gets Kyler, but that's not worth it, even slightly. Oh well, I guess they just have to build anyway, and Evil Moon has full Uber still.
They should just be sending everything they have over and over and over. There's a lot of time left in this round, and they do have the Kritzkrieg, but it's not going to do much against invulnerable players. So they should just be bombing everything they have, getting those spawns in until that Uber is forced, and then crit on. But they opt to shoot the crits at a bunch of people who are invulnerable anyway, and that does not work very well on any map. Rake is going down, though, so he wasn't able to be Ubered too quickly. Bull goes down to a nice sticky and scout combo. Kyler for fun and Hiss doing very nice. The rest of the team is able to just come in because they just cycled the Uber and said, you know what, we've got better DM than these guys. We're going to just shoot them a couple times and win. But they do lose their medic. So it's going to be evened out as both medics are on medigun now. So it's no more Kritzkrieg stuff going on.
Yeah, from Decerto, actually, that was originally, I think, a bit of a mistake. They really needed to force the Uber before they pushed in with the crits, but it worked out okay for them because TLR kind of got themselves in a really bad position by the time the Uber went away. Heist was actually on his own in the corner. He did get the medic, but he was really lucky to even do that, to be honest, because he was just in a horrible, horrible position. Really easily picked off by a soldier. He's bombing again now. He's not... Rake actually gets Bull. Really well played from him. Finally, something really useful coming from him. Which means Evil Moon has a 66% Uber advantage. He's on right side with a soldier. He's actually completely fine. No one is bombing him at all. Now they have someone coming in, Shifty, but he does go down really, really quickly. And Sheepy's only on 40 HP. They are capping the mid, but they're not really interested to stay. While Kyler does some really good damage, kills a scout, but he's very, very weak. If he's not, he's going to get picked off by Sheepy. Well played from him, but he's going to go down eventually or have to run out.
Yeah. It looks like TLR is just going to try to cap this point back, but that's going to be dangerous because the other team does have the better spawns, and they will have enough time to die and spawn before the point is capped, but that doesn't happen. Only Hildreth goes down trying to force the Uber, and it's just not happening. Again, like we said, we're not seeing much aggression out of anybody from Decerto when they need to have it, and they're just going to build up this Uber, and you know, at this point, I'm expecting them to just push in Uber v Uber and try to out-DM them again, but hopefully we don't see that because it's tough to win that way. And we're pretty good setup from TLR, actually. They've got the sniper in the China area, is what that's called, as the rest of their team holds up on the cliff. It's very hard to get hit with anything if you're Evil Moon there, crit sticky or anything else, and the pop comes out from Evil Moon much earlier as Rake is also down, and that's going to cue the push from Decerto. They're going to try and get their cap time in there and their picks as TLR is forced to just back up because they really do not want to lose their medic. You don't want to lose your medic ever. And the bomb comes in from Shifty, but again, not enough rockets to do anything, and that black box is really hurting him, who's in a really good spot with a beautiful bomb.
If he had one more rocket, he would have genuinely got him there. He got him down to 20 HP. Like, you are 100% right. That is the reason he didn't get that. Wow. Evil Moon actually has a 60% advantage now. They're both still on Uber. And they have actually capped the point. So, Furbo's actually in the house. He's being quite kind of aggressive. He's been chased by his for a little bit, but he's gonna go for him. Not really gonna get anything because he just gets denied, I think, by Kyler. TLR should just win this. 15 seconds left on the round, and they have Uber advantage, a full Uber advantage. So they should be fine to just block this. And if they just get on the point now and right-click, they should be absolutely fine. And they did exactly that. So 3 seconds from now, there is a little bit of time on the point, but it's not going to do anything really, is it? Realistically.
It might, because Decerto is putting up a hell of a fight here, but it looks like they're just going to stand on the point and win the round.
Indeed.
So, yeah, it's very confusing to watch this to me, because I feel like Decerto would be having such a better game if they had 2 soldiers instead of one who's never got ammo.
Yeah, it would be much better, I'm not gonna lie. That would really help them. On this mid, I'm just gonna watch Furbo. He's gonna try and work through across the point, doing some really good damage, I think, onto the demo man. He's really weak though. He's just gonna get taken down really well by the aggressive players from TLR. Calho actually getting 2 picks, one on the scout and one on the pocket soldier. He does go down eventually to Sheepy on the side, who's gonna try and pull out, and it looks like he's gonna be fine because he's not even got hit by anything yet, it seems. He's gonna pull out, but there is a slight Uber advantage on TLR's side. If they use this properly, they could get onto the point and, or rather across the point onto Decerto and kill that medic really quickly, because he is quite far forward, so they could, never mind. The Uber advantage is completely gone. Yeah, both have Uber. A lot of rollers, he's gonna probably get forced when he's coming onto the point. He's on 70 HP, but there's no one really being aggressive anymore for TLR. They do get a pick, 2 picks actually from Hildreth onto Hildreth, and Bull goes down to a fantastic pipe from his, and that was a drop as well. Good from him, very good from him, obviously.
Yeah, he's been on fire. That was the freakiest thing I've ever seen. Nadir had a shot of a lifetime, a big air shot to stop that push, but he missed it, and we saw what happened. Decerto came in, they weren't able to cap, or actually, I might be saying that backwards.
They were, you mean?
Okay. You know what I mean, either way.
I do.
And we're going to see, again, the Uber advantage in favor of TLR, and that's happened a lot because they're just not really being forced. Shifty's going to try to get in. He's got 177. Now he's got 192, 158. His health's all over the place. He got that black box, but he goes down because of some nice focus fire from Nadir, and Hiss called out as Sheepy is actually taken out by a nice headshot from Rake. We're seeing headshots all over the place. This is a great map for that. And Decerto just can't really push into this with that Uber. You know, if they need their Uber, and they need at least their Uber to push. But, you know, when TLR has that Uber and they're not being pressured, it's near impossible, Connor, to get in.
Yeah, however, Evil Moon is in a ditch. I don't really like that place that he's standing, like he's in a ditch. If someone bombs over now, even if they die, it's just such an easy place to be forced. Like, even rollers would force you there. Standing in the house, I've seen is a pretty good plan, but they actually just get pushed in by most of Decerto. 3 people go down for Decerto. They still have the medic, who is gonna go back, I think, to build in spawn if he can't. Yeah, he's going back. But they just lose people. I guess they're just sacrificing them, trying to get the pop off from Evil Moon, but they just don't go to the right place. It's like they didn't even know where he was. But yeah, he's still got the Uber, which is well played from him, I guess. But they have 36 seconds left on the clock for this round, which would actually tie up the whole game and make it go to TLR's favor. Looks like it's going to be for them unless they get popped and lose 3 people, which they did.
Oh, yeah, Evil Moon just dropped that heavy, and it looked like that was going to be really good for TLR, but everybody dies around them, and it turns out to be really bad. But Kyler for fun is able to Kyle a lot of people for fun over there, but they lose Evil Moon goes down to some stickies from Hildreth, and that's really bad. There's 1 second left on the clock for TLR, but it's not overtime yet. So
for fun, and Evil Moon going pretty big.
Yeah, you know, that was actually the first Uber of the round from Evil Moon. So they had that 1 Uber the entire time, and you know, they just weren't forced. There was really no pressure on them at all. So I think he took maybe 1 splash rocket worth of damage the entire time he held on to that Uber.
Indeed.
And it shows it's a big factor in this scoreline. See, TLR is just sacking to force the Uber. It's not there. right now. They don't have the Uber, but that doesn't matter because even if they lose the people, their combo is sitting in spawn and they're not going to be touched. So why not just send people out by the time you have the Uber? Everybody will be alive.
They've basically just got the best idea. Like, bombing in doesn't lose them anything whatsoever, and it has a chance of killing a medic or whatever. Is that a pause?
I'm not.
No, it's a lag. Never mind. It lagged. They're just gonna have equal Ubers now, so they're gonna have to get in to pop Decerto. However, Decerto are in a much scarier position right now because they have to stop this cap from being capped whatsoever. And if it does get capped, it is gonna go to TLR. So they're in a much more in a lot more pressure right now. Shibiasa gets piped by Hiss there. It was really nice pipe from him, but he doesn't actually manage to finish it off. No one around to really do anything. There's 4 people going down for TLR. So well played from Decerto. If they keep this up, they could win this round, but they have got a good amount of time that they have to do this for, and I don't know. There's like a second that TLR have to get. They could do it as long as they just keep bombing people in. They could, if they get a medic pick or something like that, they could quite easily just win this because Decerto don't have a heavy or a pyro or anything to really push people off a point. So yeah, they're actually going in really aggressive now, and Bull's actually on like no HP and he goes down to Kyler for fun. Really well played from him. Shifty going to go down as well because he ran out of rockets. Hildriff doing really good work from the side, but he's probably going to go down eventually to a scout flanking him. Yeah. Which means TLR are just going to get on the point because the entire team from Decerto are completely wiped. And that means that they win, I believe. I think it's 3?
No, it is 4. Is it 3?
Is it? I believe it's 3 in Europe.
Oh, you silly people not telling me the rules!
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, that's GG. Well played from TLR. They played that right, I think. After the first fight that they had on mid was kind of questionable, but I think they learned the lesson a little bit. They had people bumming in at the right time. I think half of their success, however, was because no one at all was pressuring Evil Moon for the majority of that that holding that they were doing.
Yeah, my prediction yet again was spot on. 3-1 in favor of TLR. I don't know if you heard it. My mic might not have picked it up. I
thought
whispered
you thought it was
actually.
4.
No, I knew 3.
Oh really?
I knew 3. Yeah, see, I factored in the timer and the clock on the European rule set.
Okay.
And so, yeah, and so it clicked in my head, and I said, you know what? We're probably not going to get to the end of it.
Well, you are a genius. I do believe that, to be honest. But yeah. Who is your man of the match, Mr. Beasley?
Evil Moon, by far, played the game of his life, and he really slapped some sense into his players, because a lot of those times on mid, he was really just sitting on the cliffside, healing up his demo, not healing anybody else, saying, get in there, do some damage. Hiss will do everything else. And that worked for them. And a lot of Ubers coming out of him, or a lack of Ubers, actually, because he just wasn't forced. And that's absolutely brilliantly played by him.
Personally, I'm going to have to give it to Hiss, because while he did die quite a bit when he was bombing in, I think he just had the right idea. He's the main caller of the team, and he most likely was the one to say when to bomb in and sacrifice and things like that. And not only that, but he did a lot of bombs himself, where he did go down during that, but he kept getting the medic whenever he did. So he dug his team out of a little bit of a hole that they would have been in if no one got that medic. So I'm going to give it to him. I don't actually have the log yet, because apparently it doesn't upload instantly, or they do it manually or something, so I don't know how much damage he did or what the logs are,
yeah,
but
the logs
I think he did good.
Actually, yeah, the logs are in the stream chat right now. Kyler for Fun just came in and dropped that down. I'm going to give that to you real quick, and you can take a look.
Got it. So the damage from Hildreth was highest of everyone. I think that makes sense. He was spamming a lot over the point, like a lot. But Heiss's damage wasn't like the biggest. It was good,
Hiss.
but Heist, same thing. Everyone says different crap. Hiss, right?
Say it 3 more times, and then we should be okay.
Shut up. Okay, I've got it. I've got this. Hiss had pretty good KD. He was doing pretty well. If you look at the specific classes killed, he got 5 medic picks, which is pretty good for a demo man, especially on a map where you're not even having Uber fights that often. Like, he just didn't. There wasn't many Uber fights whatsoever on this map. So getting 5 medic picks, pretty good. Hildreth got the same though, so he was doing pretty well. However, his team didn't win, so I can't give him the man of the match, I'm afraid. Kyler got pretty big as usual though.
Kyler is very impressive. That was a lot of fun.
22 and 8. He went 22 and 8. That was pretty good. He didn't die like at all. Rake went 16 and 21, however, which is not a big surprise considering how many times we saw him die. Anyway, I'm going to be stopping a dick now, and I'm going to wrap this up. This has been Vanilla TV. My name is Connor. This has been Sean Beasley, and on the camera we have Rinta. That was the Week 5 ETF2L Premier Division matchup between TLR and Decerto. It was actually a draw altogether. Yeah, good game to both teams.
GG's.
I'd just like to say something real quick from the International Space Station. This is Sean Beasley, everybody, and I'd just like to thank Vanilla TV and everybody for having us on today to do this cast. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll be able to come on back here and hop into the Vanilla TV live stream for the next match, whatever that is. It'll be posted up on Vanilla TV pretty soon. And you can always check out the schedules on ETF2L to catch the STVs of the matches that we don't cast. So, with that said, from the International Space Station, Sean Beasley, over and out.
Thanks, Sean. I agree with everything you said. Thanks again, guys, for watching. See ya.